Hello everyone, welcome back to Witch in the Woods here on the Yogscast Complete Back server. So, last time you once again had a whole ton of stuff to get done that took way longer than I anticipated it to actually take. I think I'm most of the way to making the axe. I think. I honestly can't remember at this stage. Also it's sunrise. Yay. But one thing I did manage to get done is that I made, let me see, whoop, where are you? The one focus of equal trade, which is actually really relatively cheap to make, honestly. Kind of surprised me. It's kind of a thing that just like everybody eventually has. No infusion, just the workbench, just nether quartz, entropy shards, alder shards, and quicksilver, which I have a fair bit of. And this just basically allows me to swap out blocks in an area for other blocks that I want. Which I will not demonstrate here in the well, because everything is nicely where I want it to be. Right. Get rid of that. So let me see. The thing I need is an axe, because we've got a lot of land to clear. So let's go down and check it out. Now let me see. I need Enderium ingots, I believe. Yes, it's this axe I want, the Gelid Enderium axe. So hang on, I can just check if I've already crafted this or not. Yes, I have. There it is. Yay! Saves me a bunch of time. Right. So this is sort of an upgraded version of the Redstone Arsenal one. The Flux Infuse is sort of the lower tier, but I personally prefer them in a lot of ways. And it has a much bigger battery, twice the size, in fact. And if I press V to empower / weather clear, I can make this make lightning. So it seemed rather appropriate for me. So let's see. Can I? There you are. Yeah, come on, play nice. Okay, let's not do this in the dry area. And where's our altar that was over here? Yeah, this'll do. So I don't know if this is just in the weather, but we're about to find out. Nope, it isn't. It is definitely not just in stormy weather. I can make it storm wherever I like as long as I right-click, which is pretty good. It is also a very effective axe, as one would hope to expect. So, yep, pretty decent. I think my, it probably, having efficiency 5 on it would help. This is completely unenchanted as yet. But it's pretty decent, suffice to say. And I suppose if I wanted to, I could just summon lightning into the tree on fire if I was that desperate. So let me just tick that off, because that has finally happened. Good. And substitution. Good. Which means building! At last! It's only taken me 3 hours to, three episodes at least to actually get to this thing. So we need a build site. Now, I was thinking that building it near to our death summoning altar would be almost thematically appropriate, if nothing else. But the Bates Motel, which we are building, if you hadn't caught on to that yet, it's in a fairly desolate location. It's just sort of on the edge of where the freeway used to be. Meh, not interested. So it's it's a dusty kind of barrens area, which is actually more like this, except this is really, really hilly, and has colossal ravines cutting through it, which are not advantageous to our needs. So is there somewhere else around here that we could potentially use? That is the question. Let me see, let's fly over here. So meanwhile, your homework was Uzumaki. Invariably translated as spiral or vortex, or that kind of thing. It's a little hazy. And it is... yeah, this place might do well. It is a movie, to say the least. It's a very interesting movie. I wouldn't exactly say it's a masterful movie. I wouldn't say it's... I wouldn't say it's undeserving of the recognition it gets. I think here should do quite nicely. Look at this, we've got fairly, flat terrain. It's reasonably full of life, but we can change that. Because we have the right of seasons. So yeah, let's start clearing some space around here. So point of note, the spirals actually start in the movie pretty fairly early on. Like, a lot earlier than anyone's realizing their significance. So, if you want to, you can go through the movie and sort of just play Spot the Spiral, which is entertaining, to say the least, because they show up in some interesting places. And then, it's interesting because there isn't really any meaningful resolution to this movie. The village of people kind of dies, the reporters that came in to check out what on earth was going on die. There's no real explanation for what's happening with the spirals. Presumably this isn't the first time that anyone in that village has seen a spiral. Like, it's a fairly established modern village, so you would expect that spirals have been drawn by, like, some 5-year-old or something by then. Presumably some mathematician at the school understands the, oh, dang it, the name's gone straight out of my head. The golden ratio, I think it is? No, not quite it. But it's a well-known mathematical, like, idea that generates spirals, and it's used in nature, for example, by snails to generate their shells, which are featured inside the movie. But yeah, it's, you might wonder why it ends in, like, just everybody dies in, like, the weirdest of fashions. So some people turn into snails, others have their hair, like, become medusae of spirals. All manner of strangeness happens and befalls this place. And think about it for a second. There is no meaningful resolution. You're just kind of left to wonder. It just kind of, your confusion just lasts and goes on and on and on, round and round and round, like a spiral. That's the most dopey answer I could give you, but that's honestly about as much as it goes. Exactly, even with my passable, at least, knowledge of, like, Japanese mythology, I couldn't tell you what's going on in that movie. It's like, I don't know what causes it. I don't know what creates this weird, bizarre phenomenon. Only that it's a thing. So yeah. I am swiftly getting full of a lot of stuff here. So many seeds. Belladonna, mandrake, blueberry, snowbell, clovers, cotton seeds, essence seeds, barley seeds, and some apple saplings. Ooh, nice. I might make a use for some apples. Maybe we can put them in, like, the confectionery area. I don't know. Stick them in the back of the office. Right. So, let me see. The Bates Motel is arranged in a kind of L shape. But there's a little bit of a disparity as to whether it's an L shape or just sort of a discrete T. Because there are stated to be 12 suites. And we know from the movie that the first door on the far left from the entrance is Norman Bates's office. So we can count around and then work out which suite is which, and where, and stuff. And it turns out that if you do that, there's only about 9 suites. So you're kind of missing a couple. And I've seen some layouts that show that there's like a walkway right at the curve, the turning point, round about, I think it's suite 7. But I don't think I ever see any, like, supporting evidence of that inside of the actual movie. Granted, we don't actually go on a walk around and see, like, every single suite in the Bates Motel. So that's not too surprising, all things told. But I feel like that would be kind of a thing that would be noticeable. Like, there's the overhang, so you can argue that there isn't necessarily enough light in a lot of the scenes to see it. A lot of the scenes take place fairly late at night, so there isn't much light going around. But I don't know. I'd prefer more, like, recognizable intelligence to my building, rather than just say, well, you know, this theory holds up and that kind of thing. It's not quite how I roll. Okay, floating tree, go bye bye. Floating tree, go bye-bye. Good floating tree. And I need to get rid of this welt of dirt and marble as well. Land clearing is always one of the more, I guess, kind of just relaxing sections of a build, really. So yeah, it's like, thankfully, it's not a huge build, so it shouldn't take us too terribly long. One thing I am going to do is get rid of my coin of fortune so that I'm not always picking stuff up. And then I can chuck some stuff into the river over here. I'm sure nobody will mind. It's basically going to be a wasteland soon enough anyways. You know what I should have brought? I should have brought with me a... Just get rid of that as well. I should have brought me a bin, a trash can, so that I can actually just stick these inside of a trash can and get rid of them. Which probably would have saved me a lot of time and space and all sorts. I might actually set up a AE system over here just so that I can have some storage. Or, since some people have been wanting to see me try it out, I might be trying the black hole, like what is it called? Hang on, let me find it, because heck knows my memory is awful. So let me see. We want, let's see, at applied. This is assuming it appears in here. Yes, here we are. The quantum link. So let me see. Singularities, right. So yes, we want the singularity, like, quantum link chamber. And oh wait, it's getting dark. Yeah, there we go. It's getting bright again. When you're actually outside, like, it's a lot better to be having the night vision, but when you're indoors, it's just a pain. A pain in the butt. Right. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some reflooring around here a bit, but we can do that later once we've actually got a decent structure up. So let me see. What else is there to be said about Uzumaki? In fairness, it does have a lot of influences. It has a lot of influence on a lot of other Japanese movies, and just in general a lot of Eastern movies. Because, like, this is a movie that so many people have watched, partially because it is so nuts and makes so little sense. It's based on a manga, the Uzumaki manga, which handles things a little bit differently. But as near as I can tell, not, like, in a significant fashion if you're just watching the movie. Oh, so many grass blocks. If only I had a use for all this grass. Which I don't. I don't actually. Maybe I can, like, stick this into planes emulation. No, not touching that. Nope. Let's see. Chemical decomposer turns into iron, magnesium, oxygen, titanium, a bunch of stuff basically, and arsenic as well as. Okay, so it turns into a bunch of stuff, a bunch of potential stuff. Okay. Good to know. Actually, I might try out arsenic, because that should potentially be a poison of some description. Right, so we've got a large flat area. I feel like this needs to be more large. We must increase the largeliness. Not really sure. I have with me a builder's one. This will make it a lot easier. Let's use that. Okay, that's making it a lot easier to get this place fixed up. So there's a variety of, like, spirals that are notable throughout nature itself, just as, like, this is a thing. So the snail shell spirals are the most obvious, because, like, everybody sees those pretty much. And into there, over here. Okay, coming along. Coming along. On the bottom of the beautiful stony floor, I guess. Right. It's early. I'm a little messed up. The caffeine hasn't quite hit my bloodstream yet. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. I should really, like, find some, like, magical crops tea leaves or something and just start brewing tea. That'd be nice. Let's see, so there's the snail shells, there is also, the coils that snakes make whenever they're, like, going to bed, more or less, or just, like, relaxing, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool. There's the vortexes of whirlpools and such, so it happens a lot inside, like, various watery establishments and stuff. Ooh, are we getting into our native biome here? Yes, we are. Sludge pit. Yay for the sludge pit. And I'm out of grass in my inventory. There we go. Bit more. We've nearly got this thing filled in, which isn't good. Behold the almighty power of the builder's wand that you can, like, craft or get. I think there is, like, a stabilized one in more recent versions of extra utilities, but we are, of course, not using extra utilities. There's the curls of hair, which happens due to physical stresses, including just generic, like, heat and stuff. Which is why if you heat your hair in a curling iron, then it will go curly. Straightforward. I haven't done that, by the way. It's been ages since my hair was like, short enough for it to curl naturally, which it did quite liberally. But, yeah, I've never actually, like, personally curled my hair. I don't quite know why people would put something that hot next to their own face, but, yeah, to each their own, to each their own. I have too long hair, I can tell you that's not a popular choice. Okay, let's get rid of this rock as well. And I'll bring a... I'll bring, like, a scythe over to clear some of the grass. We can plant the grass back if we need it later. Actually, there's about, I wonder if we can put silk touch on a scythe. Might be worth finding out. Just get Death's scythe and just put silk touch on it. I'm just gonna hoe the land now with this tool of the ancient embodiment of death. You know, just the usual. Oh well. So your next movie to watch, your next homework, just while I get through with this, is One Missed Call. This was a 2003 movie by Takashi Miike, who is a very prolific and somewhat controversial director. Let me see, what else did he direct? I believe he directed parts of Ju-On. I recall that being a thing. He also directed Audition. Just so I can say this, don't watch Audition. No, do not go and watch that. It is a bad idea. If the guy who, like, constantly watches horror movies and tells you which ones to watch is telling you not to watch Audition, don't watch Audition, okay? Yeah. I had to be clear on that, because apparently my notes are a bit of a schmuck bait, I think was the phrase that was used. I don't quite know what that means. I've never heard the term. Okay, a little more out. This is going to need to grow over, but it will, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Range on this isn't magnificent, but we can deal. Let's not aim at the ground where we've got all the stone, because that will get us backwards. Am I seriously out of dirt? Even just dirt? No, I've still got some dirt. Good. Dirt is useful. Dirt is helpful. Dirt is a good filling agent for various pies. Okay, right there. It's often a little bit hard to come up with things to talk about just while you're, like, doing a mundane task, because you're just doing, like, the same stuff over and over and over again. There we go. Okay, so let me grab my coin of fortune so we can clean up a bit. I think most of the troublesome stuff has disappeared by now. That everything? That everything. Okay. So I've got a little bit of hole over there to fix. But overall, I think this should be plenty of space to build our new Baitness motel. I don't know who'd be staying in it, but considering the actual, like, story, I don't know if they'd be staying in it for very long anyways. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this kind of groundbreaking. I now have to go work out dimensions, so yay. Like, actual, like, ruler and pencil kind of dimensions. So go and check out One Missed Call. Do not go to Audition. I cannot stress that enough. I am not saying this because it is a bad movie, I'm saying it because it will mess you up. Like, it's a movie that creeps me out. So, yeah. Worth alerting. Don't go and check it out. It's, like, worth mentioning because Takashi Miike is famed for this kind of movie. But yeah, don't don't go and watch Audition. Just, no, it's a bad idea. But anyways, with the rising moon and the setting, well, the rising sun and the setting moon, jeez, I really messed up, I should catch you all next time.